The stately Eastern Hemlock is one of the largest and longest living trees in eastern Canada. Old trees regularly reach 80 to 100 feet tall and 3 to 4 feet across. However, forestry prevents many from reaching these sizes, and 70 feet tall and 1 to 2 feet wide is more typical. Hemlocks generally live 300 to 400 years. However, a pair of 530-year-old hemlocks in Nova Scotia are the oldest known trees in the Maritimes, and even older hemlocks are known from other parts of its range. Eastern hemlock thrives on moist, well-drained soils, commonly on north and east-facing slopes. They are incredibly shade-tolerant, capable of waiting for over a century in the understory for an opening in the canopy. Eastern hemlock is a late successional species, meaning it usually only shows up in older forests. Common associates include red spruce, eastern white pine, sugar maple, yellow birch, and American beech. Eastern hemlock is relatively easy to identify, with distinctive needles and bark. Eastern hemlocks have half-inch to three-quarter-inch long needles that are flattened, organized in 2 rows along the branch, and have 2 white lines on the underside. In young age, hemlock bark transitions from smooth with flakes, to small plates, to shallow, flat-topped ridges. In middle and old age, these ridges grow wider and deeper. Hemlock bark starts gray as a sapling and progresses to a reddish-brown as the tree matures. Eastern hemlocks have very small cones, less than 1 inch long, and they ripen around late October. Hemlocks develop a round, bell-shaped canopy and have a wispy appearance from their fine foliage. Balsam fir is the tree most easily confused with hemlock. However, there are several key differences. Balsam fir needles are also flattened, organized in 2 rows, and have 2 white lines on the underside. However, they are usually about twice the length of hemlocks, at 1 inch to 1.5 inches. Balsam fir bark is gray and has an abundance of sap bubbles on young to middle-aged trees, and in old age only develops small cracks. Hemlock bark, on the other hand, is much browner, lacks sap bubbles, and develops deep, wide ridges and valleys. Firs also have a classic, tall, narrow coniferous tree shape compared to the broad, rounded canopy of a hemlock. Being a large, late successional species, hemlock is very ecologically important wherever it is found. Many bird species that rely on mature coniferous forests, such as the brown creeper and Swainson's thrush, are often found in hemlock stands. Yellow-bellied sapsuckers love the sap of eastern hemlock, and the abundance of holes from their feeding is common enough on hemlocks that it can be used as an ID feature. This tree is one of the best for mushroom foragers to know, as many edible and medicinal species grow under or on them. These include chanterelles, porcini, hedgehog mushrooms, and reishi, which is found almost exclusively on dead hemlocks. Hemlocks are currently under threat from the invasive hemlock woolly adelgid, a small white aphid that can cover entire trees as they feed on the sap from the twigs of the trees. They were recently discovered in Nova Scotia and are expected to appear in New Brunswick in the coming decades. This tree is a nice ornamental for its appearance and wildlife value. However, it is rarely planted in New Brunswick because it is slow growing and rarely sold by nurseries. No matter if you're a forager, a landscaper, or a birder, this beautiful tree is something for you, and I recommend you all to get out to the woods and find one for yourself.